So at the moment we can't lock the R36 because the door controller module in the driver's side was faulty. So we need to get that swapped. So we'll pop that in a moment. I've also got a rear bar from one of the wreckers out of Sydney. Got a bit of a good deal on that. I got it for 250 bucks. It's not cracked. Honestly, the paint's in pretty good nick, so we've just got to give it a little bit of a clean. So we'll give that a bit of a clean. We'll bring the Passat into the shed, and yeah, we're kind of fighting the weather at the moment, so we'll give it a bit of a wash, tidy it up. It does need a buff, but I think I'll just give it a bath, make sure it's clean. Basically what we've got to do is this module just here. We just have to open up these slide clips like so. Just give them a pull like that. Don't get too much grease on your hands as you do it. Now, for whatever reason, the R36 was a little bit more tricky to find one of these modules. To get a 1K09599794L. So that's a genuine one. I don't know what's wrong with that, but I had to get a knockoff one from Alibaba. So the rest of this module looks pretty good. So hopefully we should just be able to slide him in. So to get this back in, installation is the reverse of the installation. So just pop it in like that. Get our 3 screws, put it back in, and hopefully we should be able to plug that in and give it a whirl. We don't have to pop the door card back in to test it. We can just test it using the driver's door window mechanism and also the key just for lock and unlock purposes, because it didn't lock, unlock, do any of that jazz. So I thought initially it might have been the door lock itself, but in this instance it wasn't. Well, as far as we know yet. Now, does it lock and unlock? That is the question. Okay, locked. Hey, we're locked. So what we should also be now able to do is not damage our door for starters. Just open up. Is all 4 of our windows should work. So drivers, passenger rear, that's working beautifully. And driver's rear. Happy days. That should also help hopefully solve our battery drain problem as well. So look at that, winning. Now we should be able to pop our door card back on. So I've just got that kept in the boot with all our screws, and then we can test it. Beautiful. I would like to test that rear window switch too. We've now got a light on it. Beautiful. So now we've got this car in the air, we need to get these wheels off, and I'll get them off and then I'll actually show you exactly what we need to get off these. So first up, we've actually got lock nuts on this. So factory VW runs lock nuts. Usually the lock nut key's in the boot. Thankfully, mine was. So just put the lock nut in. You're meant to break these without nugger dugger, but I've had these off before, so I know they're not super tight. So I'll run around and get them done on all 4. I hate lock nuts. So thankfully, I've parted out a few of these before. Well, not R36s, but I've parted out a few Volkswagens in the past, so I have a few of these wheel bolts hanging around. Alright, so as you can see, there is a lot of brake dust around on these rims. So you can really see it just in these sort of pockets here. basically all 4 rims are the same. It's just through use. There's nothing wrong with it. But we should be able to tidy these up. You can probably see it around the valve stem area. See how it's a little bit grubby? Need to get these up on this wheel stand. This is one of my Christmas presents, so this should make life cleaning a little bit easier. So I'll get a good sort of spot for the camera, and we'll kind of just time lapse it. So here we've got some Bowden's Wheelie Clean, just in a pump action bottle. So we'll use this and probably a bit of scrubbing action. I'm just going to wet it first before we do this, but I'm just going to get some pressure into this before we get started rolling it around and giving it a scrub. So, as you can see, a lot of that came up and off very, very quickly. So, I'll hop to it. So, I've still got a bit there that won't come out. So, just hit that again. Let it sit for a minute. She's a bit rough on the old hands. This is where you need a good wheel scrubbing brush as opposed to just using a generic scrubbing brush. Okay, that's the rear. I just need to do the front, give it the exact same treatment. Alright, I'm going to put you on time lapse further away now, and I'm going to run through and try and get these done. Long, messy job.
One eternity later.
So, as you can see, we've had some pretty reasonable success with cleaning these wheels up. As we look closer, each area of that is beautiful and clean now. This is probably the best wheel of them all. Looks almost brand new. Some of them, the barrels didn't clean up quite as nicely as the others, but still great nonetheless. So, looking much cleaner. So next up, I'm thinking I might give these calipers a little bit of a quick clean and detail, just while I've got the car in the air. Just give the overall area here just a little bit of a tidy up. Just a little cleaner, it'll all help. It's not getting driven at the moment, so we'll tidy it up. Now onto the back. Hey guys, so whilst we had the R36 in the air, I thought, you know what, let's get underneath it and we'll have a quick squiz and see if there's anything that we need to do underneath. So we can create a bit of a shopping list as to what we need to get done on the R36. So, alas, here we are. Let's dive in. So immediately, we can see we have an oil leak somewhere here. It's highly likely just going to be from the sump, or from our oil filter housing. So we'll probably address that when we get the engine out to do our timing chain. As it looks, the DSG itself is relatively clean. There's no obvious leaks from the DSG sump, which is great. The next thing I noticed is if you have a look in here of some fatigue cracks, as you can see just around that outer edge. So when we've got the engine out, I think we drop the subframe. As you can see, that's original to 2008 when this car was built, so it definitely needs to be done. So we'll get in, get that replaced while we've got the subframe out. Next up, control arm bushes. As you can see, that one's seen better days as well. We really need to get that replaced when we've got this subframe out as well. And let's check the other one. Yep, it's suffering the same fate. I mean, it's just an older car. That's what's expected, so we knew that this would be a possibility. So as we can see, we've still got all our resonators and stuff in here, so I'll be doing some research into what we can do to sort of liven the exhaust note up a little bit, but without making it sort of raspy and drony. I believe that they call it the rear suitcase delete, which I think is the rearmost one that we remove. I don't think it's these ones, but we'll have to find out. If we're taking the engine out and we're replacing the control arm bushes, I think we'll probably do these front ones as well. The control arms themselves look good. There's no play in the ball joints, so I'll leave them alone for the time being. But the other thing that we will want to check is the drop links for the sway bars, just to make sure that they're all okay. All drive shaft boots look to be intact, which is excellent. At this point, I'd be expecting to see them with some wear and tear. We'll have to analyse and see whether the guibo requires replacement when we take this engine out. Now, under the back, we do need to do a Haldex service, just to run through that. But we'll end up doing the filter on the pump at the same time. From what I can see at the back here, the guibo looks to be pretty good at the back. So, but I think that might even be a cover. So, we'll check that out. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good under the back here. All the sway bar links are showing okay. And the other thing that I noticed when we had the rear wheels off was the bump stop needs replacement. I think you can probably see it from there. We're going to need to put some tyres on this before we get it registered. 3 out of 4 of them are showing some signs of unhappiness. So we will address that as well at some stage. Thankfully I have a tyre machine, so that's not a biggie. So one of the last things that I picked up for the R36 after the last video, I actually gave myself these for Christmas, was the upgraded heater and air conditioning controls with the heated seat buttons. So I had to purchase the surround. I fortunately had the actual unit on the shelf because they're an expensive little creature, and they came with these bits and bobs. So if you compare to what's inside the car, it gives us a nice little upgrade in look from the old school setup. So, but that'll still control our heater unit, heated seats, air conditioning, you name it. So yeah, so we'll get that in. We also got this video, we got rid of our locking nuts because I absolutely despise those things. So now that we've got those locking nuts out of the car, that'll make changing the wheels on and off if we ever need to a lot easier. I just despise the things because you have every chance of stripping it and then you need to try and find a lock nut key. I think we'll close out the video. If this is the sort of content you want to see, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and drop a comment down saying what you'd like to see out of the R36 next and what you'd like to see generally from the channel. Thanks, guys.